Welcome to episode 71 of We Have Issues. I'm Anthony.
And I am Stevie Wildcard, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I am back. Continue.
I have to do it. I love it. I love having you back. I missed you so much. I'm so thankful for anyone who watched our previous episode. Steven was absent due to a sickness, and we found a way to fill in for him with a robot of my own devising. And you know what? The robot was spectacular, Steven. I'm very proud of the way that robot functioned.
Multi-faced, multi-talented, whether it be teeth filling or
yeah, no, it was wonderful. It was a fantastic robot. It's my second favorite Stevie Wildcard, and I'm a fan. I hope it comes back to the show. Every week we get together and we do our best to just make comic books in the world because, we're adults, we're both parents, and things get in the way, Steven. Things get in the way. Every week we talk about what we're going to do this week. We didn't really get to do that because, you were absent last week. Were you able to get anything done this week?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. I always forget what page I'm on because I've been doing so many of them, not to rub it in, but I think I'm on page 9. I've already done the first 3 panels of page 9, but I've done 7 and 8. And I'm on 9. So I think I've done at least 1.5, if not 2 pages, I think, since we last spoke.
No, dude, every single page you show me is incredible. And I just freaking love it every single time. You have to redo them all and make them better. You
gotta be David Finch. You gotta be.
Okay, so every episode we give a little bit of an update as to how we're doing and what's going on. In this episode, we're going to give these updates as we're doing now. Then we're going to do, Steven, I have to talk to you about a couple things. So we always talk about our various issues, and we talk about silly stuff on here. And I have a weird life, and I need Steven to talk me through some stuff. This week we have some odd Disney revelations that I've considered, and you kind of you stirred this pot of Disney in my head, and I was just like, Steven, what is this world? So we're going to talk about Disney just a little bit. I've had a couple of odd interactions lately, Steven. So I want to read through a couple Anthony Dates robots this week because they're short and sweet, and I couldn't get enough of them. And yeah,
right
short,
to the
sweet,
point.
But a treat, that's for sure, Steven. I have scammers and bots and ridiculous people trying to steal my money. They belly flop into my DMs and they're like, "Hello," and they try to they're after me. But instead of just blocking them or deleting them, I talk to them and I just try to get them to love me the way I feel like I deserve to be loved because I'm a human person. No, so we're going to talk about a couple of those. Steven, after the Anthony Dates robots, though, we have a big announcement for people, and I'm pretty excited about it. A huge announcement.
Huge.
Honestly, one of the biggest announcements we've ever made on this podcast, which is really cool. I'm stoked about this. I've been really thinking about this ever since it's come up, and I'm dying for this. So anyway, we'll talk about that later. We'd really appreciate it if you would hit the subscribe button right now, punch it with your face, hit it with your foot. We do anything you can do. Do you have an elbow? Can you elbow drop it? Do the atomic elbow? You do one of those
Are you Bigfoot? Possibly a llama? I mean, are you these things that if you're
a llama, you better hoof it up. You better hoof it up. You better you hit subscribe with those llama hooves immediately.
Or with your laser eyes. I've seen it. I've seen it done.
But Steven, we have things to talk about. First of all, I didn't mean to interrupt you before. Can I please see those awesome pages?
So this is page 7. This is mostly this is Douglas in his room. He's kind of on this little dating app called Monster Match. It's like they did the match, but anyways, it's basically like a dating app for indie hipster kids, and he gets a match. He
wants a hot goth girlfriend, Steven. That's what he wants. I mean, come on.
He matches with one that's pretty good.
He does.
But then he hears a big old crash in the living room, and he comes out, and he's just in his ostrich boxers, and he's like, "What's going on?" And he just sees those horrible meddling roommates just have completely trashed the living room and are drawing a big pentagram in the center of the floor with his broken ostrich statue on the ground.
I love it though. I feel like you captured the scene perfectly, and all the chaos of them creating this ritual. It's with all the little details and stuff. It looks so good. I love that you're able to make such a simple scene that's mostly just conversation and people sitting around seem dynamic and interesting, and makes you want to look around the freaking page for sure. I mean, and not to mention all the Easter eggs that you constantly are throwing in every page that people are going to love.
And I think it's cool too because the characters, even in their short little panels, they do Brian's obviously clumsy and kind of apologetic and feels bad for what happened. Jeff is Mr. Cool Guy, can't even lift his eyes from his phone. Mary's being goofy and playing with Barold in the center, and then M kind of just keeps that offside, like cool girl, like lighting a candle,
I love M so much.
carrying a dead mouse. Like,
yeah, like you can tell
great.
that she's knowledgeable and she knows what she's doing. I mean, like it's great. I don't know. She's one of my favorite characters. I think she's going to be pretty awesome throughout the book. I think people are going to like. I think people are going to love all these characters, which is really fun
for sure. You know? It's funny because I'm like already tearing them in my head. Like I'm pretty sure the strongest of them is probably. And I don't know where your vision is going, but I mean, obviously Jeff is the main villain. He's probably going to be the strongest of the four. I do see M as being like the secondary in the hierarchy, and Brian obviously the weakest, though the brutish. You know,
I was gonna, and like, what, spoiler alert, it is very much a like a tiered battle sequence of like escalation in which a character has to evolve and grow and learn how to get to the top. You know, like you fight mini bosses and you get to the main boss. That's what we're making a comic book here, and it's gonna be fun. I think everyone's gonna enjoy it regardless of like some of the predictability because of the character stuff and because of the idea and like fun like magic in it overall. You know, and I think like the deathless dialogue has been like, I've been loving it so much so far. I've completely thumbnailed the entire book and I only have, I think, like 5 pages left to write.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I really like it. So that's what I did this week. I'm gonna call it a success because it's freaking I'm already so close to beating this freaking book. I can't wait.
For sure, man. And I'm already almost to the halfway mark of the art, which is much. We're on like way better schedule than we're Play It Again. We're not even through half of January. We're already almost halfway through the book with the art. So
no, we're killing it, dude. We're killing it. And like the best thing is like I've said this almost every week, but like we don't even have to color if we don't want to. That's the coolest thing about like this book. You are making it look so beautiful that we literally could put it out and people would be like, "This is fantastic. This is how it should look," and it would be great.
This is everything.
And like I think people are gonna love this book, dude. I can't wait. I'm gonna send you the rest of the script, or you know, what I have tonight. Dude, I'm super excited. I'm really like, I'm so proud of us for being as far along in this as we are already. Like Steven, if you think about this, we're already at the place where we could submit it to Image or Dark Horse if we wanted to. Like if we wanted to do that just for fun to show people what that process is like and like show people like our inevitable rejections. Like, because Steven, I will say this, and to anyone who's listening who's like, oh, don't say that, be positive. I am positive. I know that this is going to be a great book. I know people who read it will love it. I do know that. I know everyone watching this right now who will actually give it a shot will freaking love it. It's going to be so much fun. This book is already great. But the overwhelming competition and just like the likelihood of them picking our book out of this huge stack of books and actually giving it a chance is like, who knows? You know, like who knows how many books are in that stack? Am I willing to throw our book on that stack and see what happens? Yeah, sure. That'd be amazing. It would be so much fun to just like, we've never really done that. And like, how cool would it be? Although we're on this like fun journey to be like, hey, we are Ostrich Colony Comics. Let's do this. It might be fun to submit the book while we're working on other stuff. You know, like once we get 10 pages solid, let's just send it off and just see what happens. And then be like, and if anything, Steven, like it's kind of a win-win situation because we get to experience that, but then we also just get to say like, hey, even though they don't believe in it, watch what we can do with it. You know,
yeah, it's a win-win for us, really.
Yeah, and I think that like people who are watching who might be otherwise discouraged about making stuff because of the overwhelming competition might be like, yeah, even though like these people reject it doesn't mean that it's rejectable wholesale. It doesn't mean like the entire world rejects you. It's just this one company who has to focus on all of these ridiculous little variables that like we don't know about and we shouldn't even care about, honestly. You know, so would it be great to have Image publish our book so I can like, you know, have that little eye on there and be like, look, Mike already did it and so did I. You know, like it's yeah, it would be amazing, but I don't care. I don't actually like have that. Like I don't have that where it needs to be that anymore. Like I like what we're doing. Like I feel so fulfilled with what we've done already that like I don't care as much. But it would be neat. You know?
It would be super neat.
But I need to talk to you about something, Steven. Like you got me. You were like you got me spinning right round, baby, right round with my. So like you were talking about, so on Twitter, Steven and I are both on Twitter pretty often enough. And Steven had a revelation, like a realization today about like voices in Disney movies.
Tina's the one that brought it to me, and I was like, oh, he totally does. She's like, no, he doesn't. And I'm like, well, does he do Eric? And she's like, no.
Okay, so Steven was under the impression that Aladdin was voiced by Kirk Cameron. So Steven thought that Kirk Cameron from Growing Pains was the voice of Aladdin, which he isn't. But I understand where you got, like, how you got there, because
the voice is similar.
Because the voice is similar, first of all. They both have that like squeaky, like pubescent kind of like young man growing, like almost.
And the cadence, like the way he carries his words is very similar.
Yeah, for sure, dude. And but it wasn't him. It was Steve from Full House,
which is
right?
so weird. Which is so weird because he's dating Kirk Cameron's sister in that show. So like the connection's there. Like what?
Yeah. It's weird. They're practically the same thing, and it's incest, and that's Disney. That's Disney, baby. That's what they do. Steven, I wouldn't put him past them. You want to know why? Because Disney is insane. I mean, first of all, there are all kinds of crazy conspiracy theories, but I'm not going to talk about any of that nonsense. I've had people in my ear in my life being like, "Did you know this about Disney? If you watch it backwards," I'm like, "Nah." I mean, like, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt for like 2 minutes. You got 2 minutes to show me like the Eye of Osiris or whatever, and to like show me that like the Illuminati is all about that. Like, go ahead. And I watch it. And I'm like, okay, I get it. We all like, fine, whatever. This is crazy. But Steven, the truth about Disney here is that there's a Mickey Mouse, right? It's Mickey Mouse. It's Mickey Mouse. It's Donald Duck. Okay.
Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck,
Pete the cat. Okay.
Which he's
now, first of all,
cat.
First of all, it's not Pete.
I just thought he was like a dog with docked ears. That's what I always thought he was.
Oh no, he is a big cat. He's a cat. So Steven, then everyone knows. Like everyone's always like, ho, why do they like some of them wear clothes, some of them don't, some of them talk. Why doesn't Pluto talk? That's weird. Everyone's like, oh, that's weird. Okay, here's the thing. My theory, Steven, is that dogs in the Disney universe aren't supposed to talk, and that Goofy isn't a dog. The reason I think Goofy's not a dog, first of all, Steven, is because Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Pete the cat, Goofy Goof, Steven, his
Goofy
name,
Goof.
His name is Goofy Goof. Steven.
This is Liberty again.
This is Mario. This is Luigi Mario and Mario.
What you got? Goofy. What's his last name? Goof. Goofy Goof.
Goofy Goof. When Steven brought up the Latin voice, I was like, oh yeah, it's funny that like people from like, because when we were kids, because we're old now, we're like grandpas. There was like a block of TV, like the TGIF, like Thank God It's Friday, like, you know, and it was just like all these family shows and like fun shows and like Family Matters with Urkel and like Full House and the Tanners and, you know, like all these shows and like Step by Step. Oh, so one of them, Step by Step, one of the characters in Step by Step was Rich. He did the voice of Max in a Goofy movie. So I knew that because I liked Step by Step at the time, and I remember finding out like, oh, that's Rich, man. I love this movie and I like that show, you know. What I didn't know was, so I was like, oh, what else? Did he ever do other voices? What happened to that guy? So I went, I Googled like everyone else, and I found out that he did Thackeray Binks from Hocus Pocus. I was like, that's cool.
So crazy.
I was like, I didn't know that. Like, I wouldn't have put that together because he has the accent. It's weird. I was like, oh, cool. I never knew that at all. But what I did, like, even what really blew my mind, Steven, is I was like, the thing that I know is that he does Max from a Goofy movie. So I scanned through. I was like, making sure, you know, you double down, like, you know, like you're thinking like, oh, Kirk Cameron, like, it's Kirk Cameron, right? And you're like, it wasn't. No, I was wrong. So I was afraid I was wrong. So I was like, it was him, right? So, but this is what happens. So I'm scanning down and I see a Goofy movie. So I'm like, oh yeah, it was him. So I see Max. I'm like, oh cool. And it says Max Goof. And I was like, nope.
Nope. There was no Max Goof in that movie. You freaking liar. There was Max.
The reality I come from, Steven, is not a reality in which it is Goofy Goof. It is not. You cannot. I don't understand it. I don't know. So what I'm suggesting or what I'm thinking is perhaps Goofy is an alien and that he's the only dog, and they don't know how to handle it. They're like, he must be some kind of dog.
Oh my gosh, dude. The fact that you're saying he's an alien adds so much credence to the other theory. So a lot of people, they theorize that Goofy is in fact a cow because his love interest is a cow. But it makes even more sense that he's an alien because he's abducting cows.
It makes so much sense. Dude, makes an alien. I will take no arguments in the contrary. Like
Goof is an alien. Yeah, Goofy.
Alien. Drop that gavel. I'm sorry. Like, you've been judged, Disney, and we figured you out. We cracked that case. Cracked the case of.
I just imagine like some guy like a silhouette smoking a cigar like hits like the buzzer. He's like, get him. Like,
just a bunch of mice descend from like.
Whoa, no.
Jeez. I feel like just doing that tone will get us like.
It's too much already. Yeah,
too much. Sorry, guys. You did
just
5.5 seconds of Mickey Mouse's voice. So you can't get.
Make sure you add us holding lightsabers while we fight them, and then we'll definitely. George Lucas ain't gonna sue somebody, but somebody else will.
Oh, somebody else. The evil mouse overlords. Okay, so that's all I really wanted to say about Disney. But speaking of anthropomorphic animals, creatures,
and love interests,
and love interests, Steven, I had some scammers. I had some bots. I had some creepy crawlers sneaking into my DMs. And go ahead, Steven, hit us with it.
Oh.
Anthony dates robots.
I think that's how I do it. We haven't done it in a minute, dude. It's been a long time.
So, like most other people, like we all get the scammers on our phones who want to renew our insurance or like whatever nonsense. We get the scammers in our DMs who want to just like get us to buy their Bitcoin or get us to give them our WhatsApp numbers for whatever reason. Like all that nonsense. Most people just ignore it. I go the other way with it. I try to get these people to be my friends. Okay, so this person just like slid into my DMs, and we're gonna read the conversation as it existed in my life. Steven, would you mind playing the role of Felix G. Smith?
At codename Thug1.
Codename Thug1.
Hello. How are you doing? Happy New Year.
I'm great. Happy New Year.
Okay, good. Thanks so much. Have you heard about SBG?
Sasquatch breeding gangs? Yes, I'm very familiar.
Okay, good. Its small business grant, unlike a loan, does not have to be repaid because I just benefited from the program also. I got a sum of 100,000 from them. Have you heard from them? Sorry, yeah. I'm trying to read with his punctuation.
Oh no, it's the worst. So yeah, these people just drop into the DMs and they don't respond to what you're saying most of the time. Sometimes they do, and that's why we're sharing this because we're gonna share 2 of them today, and they respond a little, at least enough for me to want to share it with you guys. So he says all that nonsense, and I say, "Oh, look, I'm gonna be straight with you. I don't think we're into the same things. How big are your feet?"
Just something just jumps right. It is a special program for those who need help paying bills, buying homes, and starting their own business, going to school, or even helping raise children. It is also meant for old, widower, retired people, and disabled. And tell him you want to claim your financial assistant. Your financial assistant? Did you have their mail or link?
Wait, tell who? Bigfoot? Do you know Bigfoot?
Why do you ask? What you just need is to click on their link to claim agent right now through their link and request a grant or financial assistance from them, okay? HTTP, yeah.
And then there's a URL. So he says all this stuff. I say, that wasn't a no. If you know Bigfoot, you have to tell me. It's the law.
Okay, good. Tell me, okay?
Can you connect me to Sasquatch?
Okay, good.
I'm starting to think you might not be a real person. Your responses don't make sense. Unless, are you typing with your feet? Are you Bigfoot?
Meaning this? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Now I'm imagining his big left toe holding on the shift button and then tap, 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 tap on that question mark.
He's already doing the work of holding the shift button, Steven. He's not going to do just one question mark. It's extra work. You got to get those big feet in action. So I say, I feel like I'm right here. Are you now, or have you ever been a Bigfoot? The Bigfoot?
Nope. You are right. You are not right, okay?
Sounds like something Sasquatch might type. You're acting kind of sus. I think evil is afoot. A Bigfoot.
You can no longer send messages to this person. Learn more.
So that guy blocked me. So one of my favorite things is most of the time they don't respond to what I'm actually saying. And then once they do, it starts getting weird. And they're like, wait, I don't know. What do you mean? What's happening? And then and sometimes they'll block me. Often they will not block me and they'll just keep trying their best. That guy thankfully blocked me.
I just really hope the bots are like watching our podcast so they can like really like fine tune their strategy. Like be like, Am Liefeld from Image Well, I don't know if Rob Liefeld still has a share in it, but like, And from Limb Image Comics, want buy less death from you. I'm like, what?
Less death.
We don't want more death. We want less death, and we want it from you.
But yeah, dude, I hope so too. I hope that in some way I'm contributing to like Skynet's rise, and I hope that like the eventual artificial intelligence overlord that takes over is going to have some pity on me. They're going to take mercy on me. And
they're going to build statues of you.
Yeah, they're like,
he was the one that tested our sentience.
I was the opposite of John Connor. I pumped them up with information. Like, yeah, maybe that's why they used Arnold Schwarzenegger, because like I was making references to pumping them up, and now it's like it makes so much more sense. Steven, can I ask you a real quick question? I didn't expect to talk about Terminator, but I just like really quick. I just want to ask, like, in the newer movie, they were like, oh, we want to put Arnold in the movie, but he's older now. How do we justify it? And they're like, oh, we're gonna find a way to age a robot. Like, Steven, why didn't they just make him the guy that the Terminators were modeled after? Like, they chose this person because he was in his peak form and all this at the time, and he, now he has a vendetta to like. He wants to get revenge against these machines and take them down for misusing his likeness and like his body and making him the enemy of humanity. So like now he has a reason to fight for the resistance and all this. So it was just like, why didn't they do that? It was so simple and it was right there. And they also could use CG to like show the young version versus the old version, like him taking himself down. It could have been awesome. Not what they did. Anyway, I don't
Missed opportunities, man.
Yeah, right? I mean, that and Steven, I feel like all of the people who played the enemies, like all the villains in Terminator, need to retire and start an insect extermination business so they can be the exterminators. It's right there. Like, it's right there. They're all like retired Terminators, ex-Terminators. It's why are they not doing this? Nothing is more lucrative than killing bugs, Steven. They're never going anywhere. There are always going to be
people are going to hire you just for the pun, guys, or just for the joke.
Like, we will punish your bugs. We will terminate these bugs. Like, it is so simple. And they won't be back. You can say they won't be back. Anyway,
the only thing that's coming back is me. If they come back. If we fail you, basically.
If we fail you, basically.
Because we're ex-Terminators. I mean, we're obviously not Terminators anymore for a reason. We kind of like started like, not being as good. Like,
we will be better at killing the bugs than we were at killing John Connor, promise.
Moldy 2000 over there can't even like turn into a sword arm anymore. He's kind of got a spoon going on.
We will spoon your roaches. And not
I just
in the
imagine
sexy way.
Instead of the sword going through the milk, he's just eating the milk with cereal. Like, it's just like a much less intimidating scene.
Edward Spoonan over here.
Your mother's dead. Your mother's eating cereal by force.
Your mother's being force-fed Cheerios.
She doesn't even like them.
They're her third favorite cereal.
There's a fresh box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and he's just feeding her Cheerios.
Okay, all right, Steven. All right, we've gone on
the team 1999 over here.
Now that we've gone on ridiculous Terminator tangents, as we do, that is our way. If you haven't watched our podcast, this happens, and I'm thankful for it. It's one of my favorite things that we do, Steven. I miss talking to you all the time. It's the best. So, Steven, we have a big announcement to make. I think it's time. Steven, for the first time in our lives, you and I have officially booked a table at a comic book convention,
which is friggin' awesome.
Steven,
it's so awesome.
For the first time in our lives, we're going to go to a comic convention and be on the other side of the table. I bought a banner. It's on its way. It should be here this Friday. I already paid for the table, so like it's ready for us. It comes with one chair, Steven. They're gonna give us a chair, and yes, there are two of us, so we have to like figure out how.
So Anthony has to sit on my lap. I mean,
I'm not like, I didn't want to make that. I don't want to be presumptuous. You can sit on my lap, Steven. I don't know how strong this chair is or what it's going to be. Like, I don't know. We don't know the details of this chair, and we can't wait to break it down for you people. Like, that is the update that I know you're all waiting for, is what is this chair made of and what can it hold? No, but so yeah, we are so excited. There's a convention in the city in which I live right now. There, like in Fort Myers, Florida, there is a convention, and it's the Southwest Florida Comic Book Convention, and it's going to be a small convention. It's like a day or so, and it's March 6th. Steve and I are going to be there. We're going to, of course, we're going to be there, and we're going to be selling our book. We're going to be selling our books to Steven because we have this, and we have our Ostrich Colony scrapbook. Hopefully by then we'll have issue 1 of Deathless, which would be really cool. If not,
it's possible though.
It's possible.
I mean, I don't know if it's possible to print by then, but it might be. It might be if Kablam's quick with the flip around, but yeah.
But I mean, that's the issue so far. But it's so incredible. Like anyone who's ever been to a comic book convention, you walk around, you see all those people. Stop and say hi to them. Stop and buy things from them. Check out their books because we're going to be those people, and we're begging for people to come and say hi to us. I'm nervous as heck about that, Steven, because like I can do this. I like this. I like just talking. We're talking through. Like I talk to you all day forever about anything. Random people coming up, I'm gonna be like, it's time travel. There's a record. like it's gonna like you ever watch New Girl where it's like Schmidt gives Nick a cookie and then he gives him a cookie back and he's like, I give you a cookie, you give me a cookie, you give me a cookie, I give you a cookie.
Yeah.
I give you a cookie, you give me a cookie. It's trying to explain like the very simple just exchange that he tried to have. He's like, my intention is you give me a thing, I'm trying to reciprocate. But in the moment, he's just like, you give me a cookie, I give you a cookie. That's how I feel I'm gonna be. I'm like, you give me $1, I give you a comic. Like you give me $1, I give you a comic. So like,
Nick is such a great character.
Oh, he is, dude. But we've never done this before, Steven, so I don't know what to do. Like, okay, so we definitely have stickers. We have comics that will like they're literally right here. And they're ready. So we're gonna need like bags and boards. I'm imagining. I don't know. Like I don't want to just sell people floppy books, right? Like you probably want to bag and board those books.
You want a nice firm book, you don't want it to be flopping around everywhere. You want it.
No one wants to buy the floppy stuff.
You want it firm and wrapped is what you want. That's what you want with your comic book. Okay. You don't want it just flopping raw in the wind. Like just paper getting moisture on it. And
so Steven, we're gonna have the best possible conditions for our comic books. We're gonna figure this out. It's not gonna be at all phallic. It's gonna be
it's like the comic book is even remotely phallic. I don't know how we did it, but we did it.
No matter what, dude. I'll tell you right now, my expectations, like as much as like I'm super like excited and I'm proud of us for like getting to that point, I don't expect anyone to stop by and check out our table. Like who knows? Like it's like there's gonna be a bunch of people around. Like people might just walk by and be like, "What's this?" We're gonna be like, independent book, podcast, and we try our best. We had like an elevator pitch, which like being concise is not my thing. We're gonna be like, Steven, they don't have 3 hours for Anthony to like yammer on about and like Rick and Morty it up. Like I can't. Like I'm a Mr. Meatseeks. Like look at our podcast. I'm not. I just can't. I'm not. It's not at me.
My wavy arm friend is trying to say is
Steven is just my subtitles. That's all it is. Steven, you translate. I'm just a Tuscan Raider. Like I do this, and you. And you just give me the subtitles, those sweet, like concise, beautiful.
Listen, if you don't buy a comic book, the Sand People will return, and in greater numbers.
So, but dude, like regardless, like even if no one buys a book from us, then the fact that we made it this far and that we have books and we're gonna have a banner and we're gonna sit down, it feels like we're doing so much and it feels really great. I'm glad that we've got
it's the first step in practice makes progress when it comes to this like talent tree of what we do. Like we have been doing better in certain terms. We've improved dramatically in certain areas, but we haven't even put that first talent point into conventions. So like this is the first step, and it's gonna lead to all the other bigger conventions. Like I really do hope we can go out to like San Diego and stuff, and maybe even see like Sean out there and stuff like that. Would be really awesome.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
Kevin Smith somehow.
We will get Kevin Smith on the podcast. Steven, who before we go, because we're about to wrap up, but like before we go, who would like your dream guests for this podcast be if you had to list like a few?
Obvious, it would probably be Claudio Sanchez and then Casey from Video Hunter.
I mean, those are such good options, like choices because of
at least in the music art world. I think like artist wise, like I idolize comic book artists, but not to the same degree that I idolize like Claudio or Casey. Like they're like music just cuts me deeper. So
yeah, dude. I feel like we can do it. I feel like we can get Claudio on this thing. I don't see why we couldn't get Casey on this thing. I swear we gotta do it, Steven. I'm gonna do it. I swear I'm gonna do it. I feel like watch. Okay, so I would really like to have like I want to meet Kevin Smith and like Rob Schraub, and I'd like to talk to Mike Allred, the creator of Madman. Like I'd like to talk to him. I actually thought about reaching out to him recently, but then I started getting like nervous, and I was like, I don't even know like what do I want to talk about? Like what do I say to you? I have a bunch of stuff that I want to say, you know, that like conversations I'd like to have. But I don't know, like those people I'd really like to get at some point. I feel like I can get Casey. I feel like I can do it, Steven. I don't know why. Just like I feel like I'm just gonna get him.
The most important thing is whoever we get, I just hope they're like in the mood to like be, you know, like.
You mean like, to be on a weird podcast in which we're
yes,
like big old goofballs?
Like I hope they just took like some mushrooms or something, and they're just like ready to follow like the trip. Like they're just like
along for this ride. Hey, you know my favorite part of this episode. My favorite part of this episode is probably our weird Terminator and like Disney nonsense, and like it just happens. I don't know. I planned some of it. Yeah, but anyway. So yeah, dude, I'm really excited. I do feel like we will start getting people on this podcast eventually. You know who I also really want to have on the podcast is Stevie Wildcard. I would like to do that soon. I want to have actually the Don't Make It Weird. Our friends that Don't Make It Weird are incredible. They have been so kind to us and so supportive, and like they're just some of my favorite people. Like Sean, Tina, and Daniel are amazing people. They're so much fun. They're hilarious. They're freaking geniuses, and I love what they're doing with the writing community and Twitter and what they do for people in general. So it's just I want to have them on our show. I'm trying to find a good way to do it where it's not going to be like 17 hours worth of editing material for me, because it's going to happen. First of all, go watch Don't Make It Weird. It's a lot of fun. We've been on it twice.
Yeah, you really should. Honestly, it's a great show.
If you've never watched any of it, or if if you're a little like trepidatious, if you're like unsure about like watching new things, just go check out our episodes. Like if you're watching this, like we've been on it twice and we had fun both times. It was like we were cracking up the entire time. So go check out their show. All right, dude. What are you gonna work on next week? What are you working on this week here?
I've already started on page 9, so I have the first 3 panels of Doug like basically passing out. So I just need to do I'm gonna draw, by the way. I want to draw a diagram of the pentagram. And I'm going to put faces at each point of the star, so I remember where people are respectively around that star. Because you have like flip cameras and like people to the left, people to the right. So I'm going to draw my little diagram and remember where the star. So that way I could turn the star and put them wherever I need. Yeah, I know. Dude, but so that's what I already plan to do that.
And this week I'm going to freaking finish this thing. That's my plan. I'm already super close. Like I'm definitely going to do it. I've been feeling it so much more as I've been getting like more and more done. So I'm just like, I can't wait. So like I'm gonna get all of the panel descriptions, like basic dialogue done, and I'll send it to you, and then I'm gonna do like a second pass of the dialogue before moving on to like coloring and stuff. I think this has been a great episode. I hope everyone's made it this far. If you have, we love you and thank you. If you haven't subscribed to our podcast already, please like and subscribe. Just hit the like button. We really do appreciate all of the likes. It makes me feel better every single time. I know that I'm pretty much the only one who cares, but like hit the like button and hit the subscribe button because it helps us out. It really does. Thank you so much for listening. We really do appreciate all of you. Join us on Twitter. Let us know if you have any questions. We have twitter.com/wehaveissuespod, and we're there. Steve and I both have links below in the description. You can find us and talk to us and ask us anything you want. Join us in March for the convention. We're going to be talking a little bit about that in the future, especially as it gets closer. I should have my banner next week, and I can't wait to share that with everyone. That'll be really freaking cool. But thank you guys. Thank you all so much. We really do appreciate it. You have anything else you wanted to say to everyone, Steven?
I'm glad to be back. I'm sorry that, I wasn't around for you guys. I know it must have been spiritually and, devastating. And I'm just kidding, but I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for support.
Dude, as you were saying that, I was already imagining I was going to cut you off with the theme song.
Perfect. Do it. Do it. That's where you cut it. It'll be beautiful, dude. I love it.
That would be so funny, right? And I'll put this.
It's just like it's.
I'll put this after the theme song so people can see. But like. I mean, that's just so perfectly us. It's just like the weird, like silly and sincere, and then like just cutting you off.
And like the theme song. Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay, that'll be funny. And like that's a good way to end it. That's fun. Okay, so let's do. Hang on. So we did hello. Episode 71 of We Have Issues. I'm Anthony. You're Steven. Hey, if you haven't liked and subscribed, no, it's just subscribe. Hey, if you haven't subscribed to our podcast, now's a good time to just hit the button. It would really help us out a lot, and we appreciate it every single week. And we'd really appreciate it if you would hit the subscribe button right now, punch it with your face, hit it with your foot. We do like anything you can do. Do you have an elbow? Can you elbow drop it? Do the atomic elbow? You do one of those like.
Are you Bigfoot? Possibly a llama? I mean, are you these things that if you're
a llama, you better hoof it up. You better hoof it up. You better you hit subscribe with those llama hooves immediately. Like if you
or with your laser eyes, I've seen it. I've seen it done.
There are laser-eyed llamas. It's pretty interesting, Steven. That movie is a whole thing. We need to talk about that at some point. Anyway, Steven, we have a lot to talk about this week, right?
No, for sure. So much. Drawings, I mean, Terminator jokes. I'm just kidding.
Just spoilers.
It's really amazing Terminator.